Well, it's always hard to figure out what to do next, to keep you guys interested. Plus, I like to do different things. I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over. So, my grandson and I filled up my deer feeder the other day and had a bag of corn left over. You got to do something with it, or part of it anyway, or the mouses that get in it. So anyway, I decided to make a corn on walnut bowl. There it is. Hang in there and I'm going to show you how I made it. Well, one more thing. This video is packed full of how-tos and tips on different things. I sort of do them as I think about them. So now would be a good time to subscribe and hit that bell and let's get going. Plus you need to watch it all. I've done the same thing here. Basically I did on my last one. I took 3 pieces of 2x6 and glued them together to make me a plug. It's on a faceplate. This is basically the same principle. Now this is a homemade vanilla bluebell ice cream bucket. And what I've done here is I have hot glued 4 pieces of walnut. I'm going to make this plug, hopefully, where it'll fit right in there. And then I'm going to fill the voids with yellow corn and resin, clear resin. I'm not going to put any color in it. I learned that lesson the last time. Nice and slow so it gets in there, and then I'll put it in a pressure pot, and then I'm going to take walnut, make me a walnut base and a walnut top. I think the walnut and the yellow really ought to contrast each other. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get this rascal to the round. 1,000 RPM on this. All right, this is, these are for measuring the inside of something. They're metal working tools, but I'm gonna see if this will work. If this one is big enough, the biggest one I have. Oh yeah. See, these are spring loaded right here. So what you do, well, okay, I'm about forgetting my old metalworking days. You gotta push them in. And you lock it. Now you put them in here to where you want it. So you put it in where you want it, and then you unlock it. Okay. And once you get your diameter, you lock it back. Okay, that's what I want right there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these and make them to that, and then I'll mark where I want to cut to, right here. And that should give me my bottom diameter that I want. There you go. Okay, that'll be, I'm almost there already. So basically I just got to taper down to there and I should have a fit. Let's see what we can do. Here we go. We're in business. Well, I believe that's got it, my friends. Well, I think I've got everything gathered up. I've got my resin. It's been in hot water in the sink for a while. Because like I told you before, I keep all that stuff in the refrigerator. Got my corn. Got my cups. Got my latex gloves. Got my cornstarch. And this is a mold for pen blanks. And what I do is, if I have any resin left over, I put some color dye in it and pour it in here. And someday I'll have enough to have some unique pen blanks. So I don't even know how much I'm to do, but the way my plan is to pour a little resin in and then add some corn and poke it down just to make sure it gets in there good until I get to the top. There you go. All right, I'm getting ready to start this thing. I'm going to turn it at about 2,500 RPM. I'm going to use the round cutter. It's nice and sharp, and I'm going to use it at a shear angle so that it's actually slicing rather than scraping. So, you know, we just have to see what we got here. 2,500, even money. All right, as usual, I've done changed my mind on something. You know, I was going to go get some 6-minute epoxy and just fill those with epoxy in. I happened to think about this. I saw my blender sitting in there, and I just said, well, I got 50 pounds of corn and a blender, and I have made. I've taken shavings before, that are a little bit too coarse, and put them in here and just run this for a long time. You end up with real fine shavings. So I don't know why I just want to work with corn. So I'm going to put it on high, and I'm going to put it on chop, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. All right, I believe that's got it. Warm. All right, let's go see how it's going to work. 3 right here on this part. I try not to use an accelerator because generally I'm not in that big of a hurry unless I want to stick something together real quick. So I'll see you in about 5-10 minutes. Pretty happy with that. All right, let's lay some sealer on it now. Min wax sealer on it now. We're going to take 2 or 3 coats because the corn itself, what's opened up is pores. See how I raise that grain on that wood? See, I'll come back and I'll get about 2 coats of sealer on it, and I'll come back and I'll sand that like with 320, and then put some more sealer on it, and it'll be good to go. Well, while we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, I went ahead and got my Forester bits out to do my depth hole, and I noticed that this one was you could sort of see the edge, and anytime you can look straight on an edge and you can see it, it's really not very sharp. So I thought maybe, I'd show, in case you guys didn't know, show you how to sharpen one of these. Just take a diamond card. This is one of them old cheap Harbor Freight ones. And what you want to do is you want to come in here on the back side right here. Only the back side, not the front. And do that. Because most of the time when they're dull, it's because it's sort of like being over, And this cleans up the backside and brings that sharpness back into it. I did start off with a coarse one, and I went to a medium, and now I'm on a fine, but I didn't think about showing you guys this until you want to keep it flat as you can. Until right now, I said, while we're waiting, I need to show you guys another tip. And there you go. Still see it a little bit right there. Let me see if I can't. Sometimes a little bit of oil or WD-40 helps with this. Okay, that's how you do it. Yeah, about right to there will be just fine. There you go. All right, that's it, right there. That looks good. All right, I'm getting ready to do a little hollow here. I'm going to start with a round cutter. Usually can't see what I'm doing. Looks pretty good in there. Getting pretty thin right there too, so it's about time to quit. All right, I'm about ready to epoxy this bottom on. Nice thick piece of walnut. First thing I did is I took, after I cut it out naturally, I took 36 grit and roughed this up and roughed that up. Got my center hole here, so use my normal. This happens to be a beer can. I don't know where it came from. And this is 30-minute epoxy. But don't let it fool you now. You cannot work it in 30 minutes. I don't care what they say. 30 minutes is stuck good, but you need to, for it to cure out, it needs like several hours. Don't try this with wet wood now, guys. If your wood's not real dry, don't do this. It'll let go on you. $27, sounds good. I'll ready to take off. That'll be about right. Yeah, that'll be about right. Here you go. There's a 1/4 inch spindle gouge that I ground down to where the wings are like that. And it's this angle here to here is just perfect for this, so that's why I keep it that way. What you want to do is you want to come in here, hold it where it's just flat to begin with. Come in here and bring it in right on the bevel. And then when you get in here, this point to dig in and rotate it counterclockwise just a little. And you'll feel it cutting, and then just work your dovetail with that, and most likely it'll be just perfect. Anytime I've reversed something in brand new dovetails, first thing I do is I make sure I put the live center back in, and I'm going to cut this down. In fact, I'm going to cut the whole thing down to about there, because the walnut doesn't start for about another 1/8 inch here, so I need to cut it down to the top of the walnut, or it'll look like it'll have a gap in it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all this down pretty aggressively, because it's going to come off. I'd rather for it to come off right now. And it's got that there, and all it's going to do is spin in it rather than going flying across the floor and hitting Brandy or something. That might break him from hanging in under my feet. Little chip out right there. A little more there too. Probably just fill those with epoxy. That's whenever I started going in this direction, that's when that happened. I should have drug it out every time, but it didn't. All right. Let's change the belts out. Tried drilling with it on a high-speed belt one time. He just didn't want to do it because it just doesn't have any low-speed torque. That looks about right. That was just entirely too easy, guys. There's something going wrong here. It's going too good. All right, this is going to go on. This is going to go on next right here. All right, just to bring you up to date, I've got my epoxy in the sink in hot water now. It sat out here all night, and it was really cold out here, so it's so stiff I couldn't even pour it. So anyway, what I've done so far is I got my ring, and it wouldn't fit in the planer, so I took it to the disc sander over there and got it pretty smooth, fit it up against it. Looks like it fits good. I've got it in a set of cold jaws. And I've got an adapter right here, and it'll go into the tailstock. So, for putting it up there and holding it in place. This is a piece of 36 grit right here. And what I do is I rough all this up real good on both sides. Give it something to bite to, because you can see You can see that pencil ring around there. And the reason it's not a whole lot is because I got the other end out of the center rather than wasting it. So it didn't leave me very much, but it should surely be enough. I've done it before. So I'll get that epoxied on, and then tomorrow we'll wrap this thing up. Already starting to set up. Of course, that's because it was warm. But like I explained earlier, it's 30 minutes, but you can't work it for 30 minutes because you can still thumbnail print it. That's my gauge I go by. As long as you can thumbnail print anything, then it's not ready. It's got to be like, you know, glass hard. All right, there you are. This base and this ring are out of the same piece of wood. If I told you I cut this center out right here with a bandsaw, you probably wouldn't believe me. So let me show you how I did it, and let's just say this was a solid piece of wood right here. So I drew my two circles. This is going to be my base, and this is going to be my top ring. And normally I would just come across here and just drill me a hole right here and use a saber saw to cut it out. But on this particular one, I needed all of this and all of this. And this would probably waste, quarter inch on each side. So what I did on the bandsaw, okay, the red right here, that represents how the grain runs. So what I did is just like take this line right here, for instance. I took the bandsaw with a 1/4 inch blade and I followed the grain right here like this, and then went around here and cut it out. So, and then you can just hold that apart to get your bandsaw blade, and then it just snaps right back together and you can't even tell it's there. So what I did is I put, I just took a screwdriver and held it open and put Tite Bond, filled it full of Tite Bond, closed it up, put a clamp on it, left it overnight, and right here is where it is, and it follows the grain right here. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but I did the other side over here. I planed this other side off so you could, but I haven't turned this yet, but I guarantee you will not be able to find that. Because I took advantage, this had a crack right here, and went this way. I took advantage of that and cut down through the crack. So I had to fix the crack anyway. Now, the other thing I just started doing, the longer you do this, you just keep discovering just better ways to do it. I take my tailstock and I take the quill, that's called a quill I think, and I just wrap it with that shelf lining, and I just put it right in here like that. Now what that does, and I know it, if you're a fairly seasoned turner, you've had them come off, you've had them come out of here. Normally on a dovetail they won't come out, but sometimes your dovetail breaks and it will come out. Now this ring is glued on, and it could go flying, but what this does for you is in case it does come off, it just stays on here and doesn't go flying on the floor, either hitting you or hitting the concrete floor and busting all the what. So, okay, I'm going to come in here and cut this tenon off. laser, put a few coats of sealer on it. Well, that's it, guys. It's done. I think it turned out quite well. I'm pleased with it. Actually, nothing really went wrong this time. Hope it wasn't too boring for you. I don't, there's no flaws in it anywhere. It's just as shiny as a new car. The bottom's got my laser stuff in there. Corn's even shiny. It's got 3 to 5 coats of sealer on it. I lost track, and then what I did is I just steel wooled the final coat of sealer, put Johnson wax on it, and buffed it. That's basically it, inside and out. There you go. One corn on walnut. There you go. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Like I always say, call your mama.